May I now welcome the Minister of State for the UK Department of Business and Trade, Sir Chris Bryant, who is a long-standing champion of the arts and culture. And Sir Chris is going to share with us a few words on why the UK-India Creative Circle is such an important organisation for us all. Please give him a very warm welcome.
That's not a very warm welcome. I should warn you, however, that a few months ago I was asked by the Duke of Gordon to go and open a new arts foundation outside Goodwood House. I was asked to say a few words. It's absolutely beautiful. If you've never been, it's a stunning venue in the middle of the forest down in West Sussex. And afterwards, this posh gentleman came up to me and he said, Mr. Bryant, thank you for your words. I was absolutely dreading it, but you were actually adequate. So I'm going to try to be actually adequate tonight as well. Look, the first thing I think when I come into the Royal Automobile Club is how fabulous to have the Diwali event here, even if it's 2 weeks late, but absolutely fabulous. But there's another thought that came to me as I was walking up the stairs, which is I remember a few years ago, some of my friends who'd been much cleverer than I had become members here, and then suddenly they got a large cheque because the RAC discovered that it owned the Automobile Association and it sold it, and it had to give all the money to its members. So it had had this asset for years and years and years and done nothing with it. This room is the asset that the UK has had for years and years and years and never done anything with it. The Indian presence in the UK, the Indian connection with the UK's connection with India is the untold asset that we've never done anything with. And we're absolutely determined not to let that be the future. Our future is writ in making sure that we bind our two nations together for an economic future that surpasses anything that's happened in the past. Can I just say, incidentally, there are lots of people who are looking absolutely fabulous in the room tonight, but frankly the men are letting down the side. And I say this because a few weeks ago, I took the Saudi culture minister around the Cartier exhibition. And we were having it split at the Victorian Albert, an amazing exhibition, if you've not been to it, absolutely amazing. And there's quite a lot of pieces that were made for the Indian market by Cartier. And interestingly, when I said, oh, that looks interesting, they said, yes, Cartier, when they arrived in India, they discovered that their market wasn't the women, it was the men. Well, I think we should do more about that in the UK as well. I think there should be more of a jewellery market for men in the UK. You're rubbish as an audience, that's true. But look, first of all, I want to say there are so many areas where we've made tentative efforts at a cultural relationship. And I should say, I believe that the creative industries have to be at the absolute heart of our trade between all the different countries in the world. It's how you build relations, it's the soft power, but actually it's also the hard power of money too. Because there was an industrial revolution which was about manufactured goods. There was an industrial revolution which was about services. There's a new industrial revolution which is about experiences, shared experiences, and people being able to see and enjoy music, art, video games, theatre, movies, the whole variety of what a human being could achieve through their phenomenal creative capacity. So it's great that only recently the Come Fall in Love musical at the Manchester Opera House was, of course, built based on a very famous Indian great movie, and it's great that the company that produced that movie originally is now going to be making 3 more movies here in the UK as a result of the creative discussions that we've had between following the FTA between India and the UK. I am slightly worried about these 3 films, however, because the day after it was signed, after the Prime Minister went, and I think some of the people in the room went with the Prime Minister to India recently, the day afterwards I had an email from a young gentleman called Mr. Singh, who said to me, "Dear Mr. Bryant, I am an Indian actor living in the UK. I gather there are going to be 3 new films made in the UK. Can you get me a part? So I'm holding auditions next week. No, I'm not. But so many different aspects of our cultural life have been completely interwoven in so many different ways. A year ago, I went to the great exhibition at the Imperial War Museum, North, when they had Chilla Kumar Singh Burman's great, phenomenal, fascinating, amusing, witty exhibition at the gallery. And of course, Ed Sheeran is now just as famous probably for the work that he's been doing with Arjit Singh. 225 million Spotify streams for the work that they've done together. And Arjit himself, of course, now for the first time ever, for an Indian artist performing at Tottenham Hotspur and outselling Pink, I gather. So we better get this party started. Now, we're proud in the Department for Business and Trade to be involved in the whole business of putting together free trade agreements. And it's fabulous that the UK has managed to do this with India. But it's one thing to sign an FTA. It's a completely different matter to use that FTA so that we can see much more creative growth between our 2 nations. And that's what I really hope is going to happen as a result of the FTA. Whether that's Nazara Technologies' 21.7 billion acquisition of Curve Games entering into the British video games market, or it's Gurinder Chadha about to have her next new great film. She's in the room. No, she is. And there you are! Come on, tell them about it.
Thank you, Chris.
It's all right.
Christmas Karma. We get our own Christmas film opening November 14th. Huge cast, Ivan Borik, Kanal Nair, Billy Porter, Malkeet Singh, Jyoti Sethu. And I made it for Britain. My British audience, but it's opening all over the world. Do come and support us in the cinemas, please. Thank you. And of course, I've been doing co-productions with India for the longest time with Bryant and
So you're
Prejudice.
very young.
I'm very young, yes. But I was with Kirstarmer on the trip with CCF Studios and met a lot of great people in Mumbai. And I think this is such a great initiative, not just for now, but for our kids and our kids' kids, and that relationship between Britain and India really needs to strike home right now, given the current climate. So I'm super happy to be part of that and pushing this amazing vision of British Indian, whatever culture forward at Christmas this year with Christmas Karma. Thank you very much.
That was a bit of free advertising there. Anybody else unavailable? Look, just my final points here now are that Diwali, of course, is about light triumphing over darkness. It's in many religions there's a similar story. But I just want to use, to finish, the words, this is slightly cheeky, but they're the words of Turner, the great artist who's 250 years old, 250 years since his birth earlier this year. And he was asked what his secret was. And he said, "I have no secret but hard work. This is a secret that many never learn, and they don't succeed because they don't learn it." This is the cheeky bit. "Labour is the genius that changes the world from ugliness to beauty, and the great curse to a great blessing." So here is my great blessing to you. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.